The protocol having been established by the most recent speaker, it is my privilege and pleasure this afternoon to share with you the promulgation of the President of the Universities of Southern Caribbean and the university family. Today, this family of more than 3,000 students and employees stand tall, ready to give an account of the stewardship over the last months, as well as a peek into the future. We have come to a great moment in the history of our country where we must give a brief report and synopsis of where we are and what has been achieved. But it is not sufficient for a university in the 21st century to distribute diplomas and degrees, but the role of the university in a developing country and region must be one where the input of resources and the process of conversion to outputs must be publicly accounted for in the terms of outcomes and in provisions for the future. This university stands at the apex of its mission to transform from the mere ordinary to the superlative extraordinary and its vision of beyond excellence. Yet this mission and vision must translate into substantive elements, for mission is what we're doing, and vision is where we're going. For what we are doing is where we're going, and where we are going is what we're doing. We have come to the grandstand at a critical time in the history of the Caribbean, at a time of great challenge and crisis, but at a time of opportunity and choice. Like Dickens in his book, The Tale of Two Cities, whereas we may face the worst of times, we also face the potential of the best of times. It is the wind of storm whipping through the timbers that builds and makes a sturdy pine atop the mountain loft. This institution has followed a simple equation. Inputs times process equals outputs, leading to feedback of new initiatives. The inputs represent what goes into the mix. The process represents the active systems to which we subject the input, and the output represents the outcome. Yet outcomes must lead to new horizons and visions, for the world around us does not stand still for island economies and regions subject to natural disasters and economic shocks, whether it be tourism or oil or agriculture. No man and women are any longer islands. No man and woman can stand alone. Our team's first task as a calendar year dawned was to identify major issues and to work at resolving them for the start of the new school year in September. We have worked assiduously at those issues, and now over the last 5 months, especially, we stand ready to begin a new year. Finances. The university rescheduled its short-term debt over the long term, having experienced a planned attrition last September to provide a leaner staff in tight times. We propose to present to the board this May 31 a balanced operational budget so that we can move into a major fundraising capital campaign in September and move away from the heavy dependence on one or two major sources of funding. In services to students, we'll work hard at installing additional computer services, strengthening the water grid, and improving other services. Yet there is more to be done. In academics, we stress academic advisement and the rebranding of the Language Center. In enrollment, we received a healthy second term increase, and we were able to lower our attrition rate by 3% over previous years. We will now institute term starts in September, in October, in January, in March, and in the summer. Inputs are financial, academic, spiritual, personal, social, and the work program. The government-assisted program for tertiary education represents 80% of the university's income, and students also between 40 and 45%. The contribution of the Seventh-day Adventist Church family in the Caribbean, from Suriname to St. Croix in the north, also represents a major input of near 20% of the university's income. The direct contribution of students themselves and their parents through entrepreneurial activity and contributions to the university industry's work program pays another 35%. I pay special attention at this moment and mention to the North American chapter, which provides more than 26 scholarships annually. Their president has been our baccalaureate speaker. When it comes to teaching and academics, we teach through inputs. We give service through efforts of the community as a whole, and there's research activity that we will share. Student development and services, system of residential living, that's an input. Services to students in the food service, that's an input. Sports, health, computer access systems, all of those are inputs. But the greatest input of all in this country now is at the spiritual level, where the school stands for moral philosophy and ethical behavior that leads the way in this country. Programs of church and chapel, spiritual activities, trips to other islands, involvement programs represent this input. But that input follows a process. There's a process of teaching, a process of learning, working, following, servicing the needs, advising, modeling, and being healthy. One asks therefore, what are the outcomes? The outcomes are here today. You see them before you in the presence of grades and degrees and diplomas and research and nurses and doctors and businessmen and leaders for more than anything else. Despite all the degrees that we may produce, despite all the diplomas that we may give, we produce leaders who can think. We produce leaders who can shape the nation and lead us into a path of upward trajectory to the stars and beyond. Student Life, the Sylvan project, students went there. Parliamentary youth leadership, the president of the Youth Parliament of Trinidad and Tobago was from USC. The opposition leader of the Youth Parliament was also from USC. USC, Mr. Prime Minister, stands ready to form the next government when you're called, and there will be a call to do so. There are the farm scholarships that we began to give this year, where we take students who can farm, place them on the farm, and give them a full tuition scholarship so they can bring fruition to the land. That has worked wonders. It has given benefits. For the farm now supplies all the edible vegetables that the food service can consume. And by next September, we will start our own green grocery market on the campus. There's the events team. They have put this together. They worked hard day and night to make sure that this can happen. There is student musical talent. There's an opportunity to rule and to govern through the associate student body. Spiritual life of the students, the outcome, weeks of prayer, campus ministries. We had what was called a crusade on campus. 82 precious souls were baptized and were led to call Jesus blessed, and there's more to come yet. Enrollment, a special group of students from diverse circumstances who can live and work together. That's what the USC is all about. Auxiliaries and entrepreneurship activities. We're going to work on a water bottling plant. The printing industry will return. Today, the cafeteria has produced specialty loaf baking, custodial services, and curbing health foods, and we continue on. Advancement. What you see here today on the screens, what's marketed here, that's from within USC. We didn't hire anyone to do that. That's from within. What's within one day has to go without. And so now you ask me, what are the initiatives for the new year? What will we do? Because in life, it's less important where you're coming from than to where you're going. People are sometimes confused with where they've come from. I say today, let's look ahead and build on what we have come from. Initiative 1A, launch a spiritual program and a personal social development program with health awareness with a renewed focus on campus ministries. Another initiative, academic new programs. I'm happy to announce this morning that the new occupational therapy program was approved for 5 years and is ready to roll out this September. I want to thank Dr. Leslie Garcia for her work there. The MS in National Security, Dr. Wendell Chesley, you worked hard there as Academic Vice President. This program also rolls out in September. A 3-class sequence of entrepreneurship to permit students of USC to work their way through school and to leave school having a business. I pay reference and tribute to the Venezuelan couple, students of USC, who brought doubles from Cuba to the USC campus. There's a new doubles regime on campus, and they have worked their way through the school, Mr. Prime Minister, by selling doubles on campus. Imagine, we have imported doubles from Cuba to USC, and the president of USC buys his doubles every day. Continuing expansion, USC has launched into Dominica and St. Vincent and Grenada and Barbados with its dietetic program under the auspices of Dr. Claudia Mitchell, and we have our interns placed in these islands so that we can not only teach health, we can also show health. The expansion of the nursing program, I'm happy to announce today that Mrs. Phyllis Wolfer, the director of the nursing program, is now a member of the Nursing Council of Trinidad and Tobago. I'm happy to announce today that at its first meeting of the Nursing Council, she was elected Vice President of the Nursing Council of Trinidad and Tobago. Initiative 3, Strategic Alliances. The university has made several strategic alliances with universities around. Andrews University, Montemorelos University in Mexico, as we work toward a PhD in bilingual business. We work with CASTA and UE and UDT, we want to thank the government for delivering a fiber optic cable up the hill into the valley so we can transmit large portions of data. We'll be talking to Minister Garcia of how we can turn this into products for the good of the region. Alliances with other universities. St. George's University, we welcome the representative here today. The Medical School in Barbados and other places. Forensic biology to start in September with Alabama State University. But we're going to do more than that. We're going to restructure industries. We're just not satisfied with the point where industries exist on campus. If an industry like custodial serves a campus, it must serve the Maracas community. Plant service must now be an income-producing industry to serve the community. Food service to serve the community. Farm service to the community. We turn up a small printing press to the community. There is a study underway with several other initiatives, which I will share today. Entrepreneurial services on campus. My dream for this campus is that every student that walks through these doors with a certificate can start a business. And the business can begin while the student is still at the University of the Caribbean, so the gate dollar goes further down the road. Our gates open wide for all gate funds that will come our way. Development of natural resources, 380 acres of land. We are working on a housing feasibility study now with a firm from the United States to put houses in the estate and not only food alone. People must have a place to stay and live that's affordable. Service to the community. Thank you, Dr. Andrews, for the health fair in the valley. We thank Dr. Couture for her academic support program with Sagicor, Spiritual Life, the Suriname Project. We thank Dr. Clark for his hours of counseling psychology, Professor Dean there. The bridging program in the School of Education. Thank you, Dr. Jacobs Brown. Special attention we pay to Akana and the Mango and the Wengo and the Salva as those communities become the outer reach of the University of the Caribbean. But then, last but not least, a massive enrollment drive is on the way, where we will attract students from the United States. I dream of the day when USC and UTT and Honourable Jack and UE can come together in an educational corridor and bring 10,000 US students to Trinidad and Tobago every year. It's called educational tourism, and we're ready to start that ball rolling. There's no reason why Trinidad, with its natural flora and fauna, cannot be the jewel of the Caribbean, where students from other countries come here. Let's not take oil to them. Let's bring them to us here also. That's the path we want to follow. We will redo our information systems. We will purchase a new information system that will be more friendly and will help students deliver more. And so in closing, I say to you, USC proposes to this country the concept of edutourism. But more than that, I want to say thanks today to Dr. Chesley, who chaired the graduation committee, and Ms. Fleur, who provided valuable services, to the members of the President's Council, to the assistant in my office, Mrs. Becky Duncan, and also Dr. Liverpool, to the President's administrative team, to the registrar, Mrs. Rosita Lashley, who carries my name, but is not here today, but sends her best wishes to all of you for her constant support. To events led by Beverly, Ken, and Alexis, to the musicians, to all of you are important here today as we pull this string. Thank you, Pastor Woodford, for the work that you have done. The list is too long to call. I wouldn't pause it this time. But I stand here today before the nation and Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. Send your children to USC. send your daughters, send your sons, and we will prepare them